Another week, boys, and another TWAB. This week in Destiny, we are just a few days away from our next expansion, the Edge of Fate. So how about we give you some more information about what's to come to ease the wait. We also have information about the next raid, including its name. So check the topics below and let's get this Twitch started. So the Edge of Fate is almost here. Our next raid is Rite of the Night ends soon. Brief 002. Want to see the new artifact, armor mod updates. Let's go over all the incoming changes. Bungie store sales. All right. So the Edge of Fate is almost here. The Edge of Fate launches next week on July the 15th. And not only does our next expansion for Destiny 2 arrive, it's also the start of both the Year of Prophecy and the beginning of our next long story arc for the franchise, the Fate Saga. We are incredibly excited, and we can't wait for you all to start playing the new content. To help with the wait, this week we published a Dev Inside video covering some of the most intriguing aspects of the Edge of Fate. Here it is again in case you haven't watched it. We did our breakdown of it the other day. I think the biggest takeaway from all of this, if you've got the collector's edition, is that somehow, some way, maybe Lodi had something to do with the assassination of John F. Kennedy, and Graviton Lance was the weapon that was used. So it gets kind of wild. Now, if you're counting the days until Edge of Fate, you are not alone. It's hard to believe only 5 more days remain. We are dying for you to experience it. So wander into the desert Perpetual. The Edge of Fate raid launches on Saturday, July the 19th, and we have much to share about it. We are not spoiling anything today, just sharing its name, the Desert Perpetual. Not the Desert Perpetual, the Desert Perpetual. How are we feeling? What conclusions can you draw from this name? Think about when you hear old raid names. Vow of the Disciple, Root of Nightmares, Salvation's Edge. As is tradition by now, the raid will launch in contest mode, our hardest difficulty, and it will be available for 48 hours. Those who look for eternal glory may want to compete in the world's first race. The first fire team to complete the raid on contest mode will earn raid belts. We'll share the final details on the 7/17 TWID, along with the new raid emblems and more. All right. Again, the big thing about this year, guys, Bungie is finally returning to a Saturday launch, which I think is great, man. Most people working Fridays. This is a perfect opportunity for all of us to jump in there and hit the day 1 raid. And who knows, man, maybe it's you and your squad. Y'all pull it together. Y'all get the world's first race information on June the 19th at 10 a.m. Pacific. Hundreds of fire teams all around the globe will compete to become the world's first race winners. But only one team will make it and take home the coveted world's first belts. We have some key details to help you with your planning, including requirements for raid entry and updates to the world's first race completion criteria. All right, so details. Contest mode will be enabled for 48 hours from July the 19th to July the 21st. So essentially the whole weekend. Completing the Edge of Fate campaign at legendary difficulty will get you contest ready, or you may complete the campaign at normal difficulty and then hunt for power before the raid goes live. We will provide exact power requirements prior to launch. Stay tuned. Is contest mode free? Are you asking, can you do the new raid for free? Brother, this is Destiny. All right. I know there's some free stuff going on right now, but this is new content. No. Yeah, you're gonna have to pay for the stuff. My suggestion on this though, everyone, in my opinion, just do the campaign on legendary difficulty. You won't have to worry about power. You'll be up to snuff. Doesn't mean you're gear ready, but power ready you will be. Entry requirements: complete the Edge of Fate campaign. Okay, you have to do the campaign. Completion criteria: fire teams don't need to return to orbit to finish the race. The first fire team to finish every encounter and loot the final chest will be declared world's first winners and have their victory immortalized with the Desert Perpetual world's first raid belts. It's obviously 9 themes. Like, just taking stock of the name here, like, definitely I'm thinking like Prophecy Dungeon, but blown up into a raid. Similar to past raids, we'll be working tirelessly with our analytics and security teams to maintain the integrity of the challenge and the raid. When the first completion happens, we will verify through our internal systems and tools before we announce the winning team on our social channels, and we'll then start our more thorough security review. We don't want to make everyone wait around while we dig into this data, but if we do find that any cheating or violations have occurred, we reserve the right to disqualify a team and crown the next fire team in line for world's first, even after an announcement. Keep that in mind. Once the world's first completion has been recorded, normal difficulty will go live. Players will have 48 hours to complete contest mode. If they desire, simply hop into normal mode once the race is completed. For full details on eligibility and requirements for world's first race, please visit our official rules. So again, once world first is completed, normal difficulty will go live. So if you're sitting there waiting to do normal difficulty, I'm thinking this one's going to take 12 hours. 12 hours for first completion. What I'm roughly thinking. Okay, so you can watch the race. Players watching these accounts while the world's first race is taking place will receive the Power Hues emblem as a Twitch drop. So Bungie pre-show from 6:45 until 10. Evan, Wise Thug, Emerge, Nectos Gaming, Masio, and El Tolan. CB Gray will be giving out limited codes for the Power Hughes emblem on his YouTube throughout the raid race. So players watching these accounts while the rules first race is taking place will receive the Power Hughes emblem as a Twitch drop. So only these accounts? I thought there's like an emblem that's for anyone in the Twitch directory. Yeah, that's Bungie. Come on, guys. You've got people that this is their opportunity to really break out. And you've got folks that, especially if they're in the lead for World's First, this is one of their only opportunities in a given year to see some like massive growth. My opinion, you should just open up the emblems for everyone in the directory. Oh, after the World's First race, gift a sub to any eligible Twitch channel in the Destiny 2 category streaming the Desert Perpetual raid from July 19th to July 29th to receive a golden relief emblem. Remember to link your Bungie and Twitch accounts so you can receive rewards. I mean, that's... Look, man. I'm just saying. We'll be playing the raid, of course. I like it whenever it's just anyone in the directory. Obviously, like, yes, I definitely want people to go and watch these Twitch channels. By all means, go do that. I just think it needs to be directory wide. You've got a lot of people out there to see a lot of growth during these moments, during that 2-day time frame, and it'd be nice to be able to reward the communities with all of the Twitch drops. Just my thoughts, man. Last week for Rite of the Nine. It's the last week before the Edge of Fate, and that means it's also the last week for our dungeon focus events, the Rite of the Nine, and for Episode Heresy. You have just a few more days to earn gear, complete the triumphs, unlock the Eternal and Heretical title. For this week, we have a few extra things going on, so you can earn the most out of the game. Daybreak is still active as a modifier, so you can go crazy using abilities and your supers to defeat your enemies. Weapon drops and end of activity rewards have been increased once again, and during this last week. And don't forget about Zerb. His will is not his own, but he brings gifts from the Nine. Last week, the Amazing Choir of One was available among his wares. So what other recent exotics that be part of the Edge of Fate featured gear will we bring this time? Go to the spot of the tower to discover it yourself tomorrow. Let me just say, if you just don't have Choir, get Choir. It's going to be so damn good with acting more rigged. Now, the Rite of 9 has been a unique experience, and we hope you enjoyed rediscovering Spire of the Watcher, Ghost of the Deep, and Prophecy, and earning shiny new gear while getting a look into what the 9 are planning, even if Orin still speaks in riddles, and what they said directly to you is, well, also pretty confusing. Don't forget your Bungie rewards. Hallelujah. Celebrate your mastery within the Rite of the 9 by unlocking and claiming Bungie rewards now available on the Bungie store. All triumphs must be claimed in-game July 15th, and Bungie rewards must be purchased by August the 19th. Rite of the 9 tournament and Destiny Tracker are final hurrah. Some of you may have participated last week in the Destiny Tracker's Prophecy Dungeon speedrun competition, and this week we have more. From the 10th of July at 9 p.m. Pacific until the 12th of July at 9 p.m., Spire of the Watcher is the featured dungeon Destiny Tracker speedrun contest. We've clarified some of the rules to ensure it's fair game for everyone. The goal of this challenge is for players in solo, duo, or full fire teams to complete the Spire of the Watcher dungeon on eternity difficulty as quickly as possible, while avoiding any exploits, skips, or advanced movement techniques. All players should follow intended gameplay paths and mechanics. As we mentioned last week, by participating, you can win prizes such as silver, one of the 9 exclusive Star Wars inspired headphones holders fabricated by Hinge and Scrap, and a premium Rite of the 9 themed PC unit created by Overkill. All right, it's a sexy looking PC, man. The 9 crown emblem will be provided to all verified participants who have completed at least one run across either weekend via email by the Destiny Tracker team. So some lore stuff here. Looks like Brief 002. Guardian Operative Dispatch contains restricted information for selected fire teams with purchase data upon closure. Combatant Corsair. Classification Linksney House. Exile. Combatant. Unknown Fungal Symbiosis. Hazards. Flight. Aerial Maneuverability. Jet Exhaust Burst. Akimbo Scatter Pistols. An Explosive Flight Pack. Intel. The Corsair is an aerial combatant using close range weaponry and a highly maneuverable jump jetpacks, which allows hovering to sustain flight. Guardian Operatives report poorly shielded ignition coils could be a weak spot on the pack, causing a strong reactive ignition when stressed enough. Records pulled from the House of Exile systems as well as Eidos records indicate that Corsairs were a role created during the Long Drift as boarding parties and ship-to-ship raiders. While the other houses have deprecated this role, House Exile has not. I would expect a resurgence if jump jet tech reaches other houses. Skirmishes with the House of Exile Corsairs describe them as using hidden run tactics to distract operators, while Vandals with paracausal weaponry close in to neutralize Guardian threats. When engaging, fire teams are advised to overlay firing zones and stay mobile. All right, buddy, you're really trying to sell me on this. Listen. It's fallen enemies with jetpacks, okay? I'm excited to take them on, but the reality is we just came off of subjugators and tormentors. You know what I'm saying? So I think we'll be all right. I think we're going to be okay. Of note, Corsair jump jets run exclusively on fungal material as as fuel. In the hierarchy of Elixir Station, Corsair serves somewhere alongside Vandals, with some being as revered as captains. Oh, it is a role where individuals can stand out and gain renown through daring deployments or become notorious through unscrupulous ventures. More lore next week. All right, the artifact is here. There we go, man. We've already looked at some of this right now, but this is coming straight from Bungie right here. The Edge of Fate artifact will provide some nice boosts for Guardians, Solar Strand, and Stasis toolkits, while also letting them build into elemental pickup generation with some new payouts. Strand fans will be happy to see the return of Threaded Blast and the introduction of Tangle Web, turning Tangles into mini wanderers when they spawn, and a massive strand explosion when popped. On both sides of the thermal spectrum, we have some new Column 5 capstone mods and Radiant Shrapnel and Frigid Glare. Both offer some distinct crowd control options, while King Off buffs you can acquire from columns 3, Fever, and Chill. If Solar Strand or Stasis aren't your preferred cups of tea, the elemental pickup mods are here to help punch up your favorite way to slay out. So let me just go through some of the champion mods here. Anti-barrier Scout and Pulse Rifle. Look, if you got a Randy with under-over kinetic trimmers, it'll be very, very good. Okay. Unstoppable Sidearm and Hand Cannon. Unstoppable Sniper Rifle. Overload Shotgun. Overload Rapid Fire. So this right here, uninterrupted fire from your equipped auto rifles and submachine guns grants bullets that stun combatants, delaying ability energy, strong against overload champions. The other thing is when we get into some of these, you'll see some like noticeable gameplay loops here. For instance, out of column 3, Fever and Chill, rapid precision hits with solar weapons grant Radiant. Rapid precision hits with stasis weapons grants Frost Armor. For this one right here in particular, you can sit in the back of the map with like Polaris Lance, pop some precision shots, get Radiance, and while also doing this, you'll be proccing your ignitions. But then right here, you've got Radiant Shrapnel, which is right above my head, dealing sustained weapon damage while Radiant or defeating a Scorch combatant with a weapon, causes the target to release a solar projectile that deals damage and Scorch on impact. We think that Polaris Lance, especially like a Polaris Lance Path the Burning Steps combo, is going to be really, really good. I think you have some strand ones right here. Threaded Blast, destroying a tangle with a strand. Damage increases the radius of the explosion. That's going to play pretty nicely into the new exotic there for hunters. Let's see what else we have here. Some scavenger mods. Elemental Benevolence, granting allies an elemental buff, gives class ability energy. Cauterized Darkness, stasis or strand debuff non-boss combatants, takes increased solar damage from all sources. You can actually do like a tenacious chill clip. Talking to Mason about that. You could do that, get the debuff off, and then swap back to Polaris. Shield Crush. While you have Woven Mail, Frost Armor, or a Void Overshield, your melee recharges faster and deals increased damage. While you are Amplified or Radiant, your grenade recharges faster and deals increased damage. Okay. Frost Renewal. While you have Frost Armor, taking critical damage releases a burst that freezes nearby combatants and grants Frost Armor to you and nearby allies. Elemental Day. Stunning a champion with an elemental weapon creates an elementally aligned explosion, applying a matching elemental debuff to them and nearby targets. And then Elemental Overdrive. Picking up an elemental pickup or a tangle grants increased damage to a weapon of the same elements. Tightly Woven. While Woven Mail is active, gain increased class ability and grenade stats. Reciprocal Draw. Rapid non-sidearm final blows grant sidearms a period of increased damage for a short time upon the next draw. Dude, Trick Sleeves may actually be all right with this. Get some rapid non-sidearm final, depending on the buff. If this stacks with Trick Sleeves, and Trick Sleeves fucks, you can swap to it. And when you ready to draw, if it stacks, we'll have to test to see. Shoulder to shoulder, dealing sustained precision damage against combatants while near 2 or more allies, grants you damage resistance. Tangle Web, creating a tangle by defeating a strand debuff target, suspends nearby combatants. Rapid precision rifling. Rapid precision hits or final blows with scout rifles grant them increased reload and reduce incoming flinch. Refresh threats. Picking up an elemental pickup matching your subclass element or tangle while you have a strand super grants energy to your least charged ability. Elemental Coalescence. Defeating targets has the chance to create an elemental pickup matching your equipped super elements. And then Frigid Glare. While Frost Armor is active, stasis precision final blows cause combatants to release a freezing burst. Okay. A lot of strand, a lot of solars, good stasis ones too, and some overlapping gameplay loops here. Armor mod changes. Hi, all. Sandbox team here again one more time. With all the changes coming to the sandbox and Edge of Fate, we found that there were a few armor mods that needed attention to better fit into the new system. So let's talk about them. First, with the introduction of the new ammo meter system, we've done a pass on various ammo-related parts of the sandbox. For example, we've replaced the inventory stat on weapons with a new ammo generation stat, which affects how much a given weapon contributes to your ammo meters, and selected specific fixed or minimally variable ammo inventory values for each weapon type. This includes or impacts various armor mods, so we've given them a tuning pass. So Ammo Finders now improves contributions to the corresponding meter. For example, Special Finder increases special meter gains and can stack. Reserve mods on chest armor have been deprecated and replaced with ammo generation mods, which improves the ammo generation stats of weapons matching their damage type and can stack. Scavenger mods will continue to work as before and continue to be disabled in the Crucible and cannot stack. Scout mods have been deprecated. Okay. Yeah, this whole meter system is about to be really, really important, dude. In addition to the ammo-related changes, some other armor mods have gotten some adjustments to account for the stat changes coming with Armor 3.0. First, we have the basic stat mods. Armor mods that influence stats, such as the +10 stat mods, the Artifice mods, and the Font mods, have been converted to use the Armor 3.0 stats. Basic armor stat mods now all have the same mod energy costs. All +10 stat mods now cost 3 energy, and all +5 stat mods now cost 1 energy. Okay. All right, so they're equalizing it across the board. Since their value is heavily tied to the values of the stats they grant, font mods have historically been ineffective compared to other options. However, in Eternal playtests, the Armor 3.0 stat rework catapulted them to complete dominance. You're damn right. Even with this adjustment, these mods remain notably more potent than they were prior to the Edge of Fate, as they are one of the only ways to push beyond the stats available in Armor alone. So reduce the benefit granted by font armor mods from 30, 50, and 60 for 1, 2, and 3 stacks to 20, 40, and 50. It's still going to be so good. Guys, I cannot express just how good font mods are about to be. If you're sitting there, say you're sitting there at 150 intellect, you can load out font mods to pick you all the way to 200s. And we're thinking that the mobility font mod, we'll take a look at it. It may transfer into weapons. This is how you're gonna round out getting to 200 stats. You Bungie. Whoa! Y'all don't like this? Y'all don't like fonts? Brother, fonts have never, like no one hardly ever used font mods. This is gonna actually give them incredible value. What are fonts? All right, so if I go here, if I go to my armor, I come here. You see this mod right here, Font of Wisdom. Collecting a more power causes you to gain one temporary armor charge. You gain bonus to intellect while you have any armor charge. Armor charges decay over time. This picks up your stats. Meaning if I'm rocking 3 of these, and right now I think sandbox wise, what do we look at? Yeah, 30, 50, 60. So in the next sandbox, if I'm rocking 3 of those, I'm gonna have 50 extra intellect. So what that means is, if I'm trying to get the most damage out of my super, and say I'm sitting at 150 intellect, I can use Font of Wisdom to top me off to get to that 200 mark. Should work. You see where I'm coming from? And then that way you can get maximum damage. With the release of Edge of Fate, the players facing mobility stat will be deprecated. While each Guardian will have its effects set to base value, the equivalent of 30 mobility for Titans, Warlocks, and 40 for Hunters, Guardians that prefer to stay a little more mobile needed a more flexible way to access those effects. Added a new legs armor mod, Enhance Athletics, which increases your base movement speed and jump. For 1, 2, 3 stacks, provides the equivalent of 30, 50, and 60 of the previously available mobility stat. Shit. All right, there you go. So what we were wondering was if this mod, Font of Agility, would transfer to Font of Weapons. Since mobility is converting to weapons. Doesn't seem like that's the case. That just seems like Enhanced Athletics is taking Font of Agility's place, right? It still might. It still might. We'll see. Okay. Note, additionally, mobility bonuses provided as part of some other effects, such as amplified effects and lightweight frame weapons, will continue to boost movement speed and jump height as they have previously. The new version of mobility stat has a higher upper limit than it currently does in live, allowing you to stack up to 130 points instead of the previous cap of 100, so you can gain additional benefits from multiple sources in ways that were not possible pre the Edge of Fate. The leg armor mod recuperation has been a mainstay across the game for quite a while now, owing to its nearly unconditional benefit to survivability. While essential for the survivability of certain builds, its nature as a must-pick option has reduced the amount of space other leg mods have to thrive. With the Armor 3.0 stat rework, this need for a subclass agnostic healing source is now covered by the health stats, let alone the many other tools such as the weapon per kill clip introduced in Season of Witch, or some of the new set bonuses coming with the Edge of Fate. Our goal is for recuperation to remain a helpful pick for more aggressive subclasses and builds without others access to healing, or for players who want to save their armor stats for more flashy options. However, its current impact on one of the most fundamental problems Guardian face does not match its low cost. So we reduce its impact. We'll be keeping an especially close eye on this change throughout the Edge of Fate to ensure that it's having the intended effect, rather than invalidating builds that rely on its effect to function. Oh boy. Oh, Jesus Christ. Reduce the healing granted by collecting an orb of power with the recuperation armor mod equipped from 70 to 15. 15? What the hell am I going to do with that? Brother, that's not a nerf. That's murder. I'm never going to use this shit. Don't be salty, chat. It was bound to happen, for f***'s sake. What the? Hold up. How many of you have been bitching about recuperation? You know what's going to happen? You see this mod right next to recuperation? That's what's going to happen. I'm just going to rock this shit. I will never rock recuperation again. Why would I ever take 15 health over, even though better already can be interrupted through means of getting damage, it's still better than 15. Just run your surge mods and stop whining. You don't know what you don't know right now. You know that? You don't even know what you don't know. First up, everybody mod swaps before they go in the damage phases. Okay? We rock these mods right here to stay alive, and then we go to surge mods. You're that teammate that rocks triple surge mods and dies 4 times before damage phase. That's you. That's you. You're that teammate. The rest of us, well, we care about our team, and therefore we don't fucking throw, and we actually will rock these mods until damage phase. Everything we have talked about with the artifact preview and the armor mod change sections, we have completed a list of topics we want to talk about before the Edge of Fate launch. Many topics have been covered in the latest weeks, so we thought a general reminder with a few links here and there could be helpful. All right, Bungie Day Sales. All right, celebrate Bungie Day Sales. Hallelujah, baby. Bungie Day emblem update. Oh my God, we have a quick update to our current emblem offering when making a purchase on the Bungie store. Any purchase on the Bungie store during the Bungie Day sale, blah, 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 we're eligible to receive all 6 promotional emblems with a purchase, including the NIP 1 per 1 store emblem. Damn it, baby. Damn it. These emblems will be sent by July the 11th, 2025 to the email associated with your Bungie store account. All right, Bungie Day 2025 campaign updates. We're just 4 days into the Bungie Day campaign. We've already joined together to raise more than 400,000 support communities in need. Guardians are once again proving their compassion knows no bounds, and their commitment to make a dent in the universe is in their DNA. Thank you for the amazing start, and know that we are just getting started. Along with the launch of the Edge of Fate on July the 15th, we'll be adding additional incentives, including the Helping Hand emote, the Steadfast Column shader, as well as the Foundation-themed weapon ornament for the explosion-inducing exotic hand cannon Sunshot, available in the Eververse. Okay. Twitch Summer of Drops. That's right, guys. We have a drop that's live. Anybody that does gift a sub to anyone in the Destiny 2 director, even your friend, your cousin, anybody, you gift a sub to them, or it's just sub and you get the emblem. Daily bonus non-nary Ingrams disabled. Due to an issue, we have disabled the daily bonus non-nary Ingram available at the emissary. We're currently investigating a fix. Players may still earn up to 20 non-nary Ingrams to purchase for non-nary manifolds through July the 15th, 2025. I'm not even going to care about that. Bungie.net Destiny feature or Destiny API feature removal. Oh yeah, July the 15th, the following Bungie.net and Destiny API features will be removed. The community creations, the groups, the Legacy Fireteam Finder, and the viewer bounties in the Twitch extension. Everybody say goodbye to Legacy Fireteam Finder. All right, so update 9.0.0.1 next Tuesday, July the 15th. Maintenance for update 9.0.0.1 will begin. Wow. So it won't be a Monday, right? So are we not going offline Monday? Okay. That's your Fate preload. Preload for update 9.0.0.1 will be available prior to the game's release. Below are the preload times. Okay, so beginning PlayStation. Watch PlayStation leak everything, dude. They always leak everything, dude. You could preload the update though as early as 7/13. Sony gonna leak that this weekend. Watch what I say. You're gonna see everything this weekend from Sony. Xbox, there's their time, and Steam, Epic Store, Microsoft Store. At this point, I think Sony just does it on purpose, or they just don't give a I don't know. Storage needed for the installation. Some girthy data sizes. All right, the Edge of Fate Day 1 known issues list. We are finalizing our list of certain information issues we are investigating that we want players to be aware of prior to the launch of the Edge of Fate. We expect this list to be published before the update 9.0.0.1 is live on July the 15th. Also, claim your seasonal rewards, seasonal seal rewards, season pass items, season vendor rewards, Shaxx, Zavala, Drifter, and Saint 14 rewards, Banshee, 44 reputation items, and Bungie rewards. The Destiny content vault updates with the start of year 8 of Destiny 2. Certain items will be deprecated from the player inventories that correspond with vaulted activities and seasonal campaigns. They will then be moved to the Destiny content vaults. We've updated the Destiny content vault article to reflect these changes, created a new article fully outlining items being deprecated at the start of year 8 for players to reference. All right, known issues list. All right, guys, that is everything, man. As a final note here from Bungie, with that, the final tweet before the launch of the Edge of Fate is complete. We hope everyone is ready for what is to come. Some of you might be working towards getting your vaults, gear, builds, and more sorted out. You still have time to do that, or to complete some of the triumphs you are missing to earn last minute Rite of the 9 or Heresy gear and complete a seasonal challenges to get some extra bright dust. We can't wait to see your reactions to the new content and hear your feedback on the new systems we have implemented. Our goal is to keep Destiny 2 fresh, fun, and overall that it's still a game you love to play for years to come. A decade is nothing. Destiny 2 community team. All right. That's it, guys. Other known news. I guess this TWAB is just too big to fit it in there. I just want to say, man, my heart goes out to the people in Texas. That stuff that has happened to that camp and all those people and especially all those kids. It's absolutely heartbreaking. The things I have read out of that situation. I literally read an article last night where 2 daughters died and they sent their final message to a dad that couldn't get to them. So again, if you live in that area, just want you to know that love to you guys. I can only imagine what you are going through. And Luke and I are going to look into whatever ways we can possibly contribute on this thing. And I'm hoping Bungie too also jumps in on this, because I know they have their programs too throughout the country on that. Outside of that, guys, I know this TWAB was a lot of like recapping and everything, but the main takeaway is new content's coming. We're getting a new batch of content, and all the thoughts on whether or not Edge of Fate is going to be good or not, we're going to get these answers by next week. And I hope the campaign pops. The narrative I'm pretty excited about. And, you know, I think that the day after the raid, we'll be able to fully assess, because I normally don't assess expansions inside of Destiny until after the raid. So if you want to know my thoughts, I'll probably give my initial thoughts on the campaign experience, because this is going to be a completely different style of campaign. And then my full thoughts will probably come after the day one raid.
Slap that like button like your mama told you right.